Weston got me mad enough, I'd just...
You want to go swimming?
And then it'd be like, now what? Now what do we do? Fight? Do we fight now?
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are ya?
So good to meet you. Oh my gosh, you guys come inside. This is like, I don't even know.
And it's
How to explain the
we
last
arrived
few days
Monday.
of it.
Oh, really? And
Well, at least you have AC
Thank
now,
God,
right?
yeah.
We have it AC. This is not the original house that we rented.
Yeah.
This is a different one.
yeah.
But we just figured out how to make it work.
Yeah, we were like, we gotta
So hopefully you guys feel like you have enough space in here.
yeah.
Make it work.
To do
Where do we want to
things.
put equipment, Drew? Okay, let's probably put it over there by the island.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the most out of the way, and then we'll be able to kind of shoot both these ways. So this is Jamie.
Hi.
Jamie's our first AC and second camera operator. This is Drew. He's our director of photography, and this is Hunter. Hunter's our bonus feature guy. Well, we're just gonna move some stuff in.
Yeah.
No, we'll be good for the first part, and then what we'll do is we'll just kind of go over with you the B-roll, and we'll start kind of going through the B-roll stuff first.
Cool. Yeah, we were just kind of brainstorming. Now that we know this is the space
Yeah.
we're gonna be in, like what we should do.
And then what time the client's arriving around
Is it 3 or
3 o'clock?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Well, fun. Yeah, so kind of this first part for the B-roll is just kind of more of discovery. We'll kind of go through the list,
Cool.
figure out kind of what feels natural for you, and
Yep.
then we'll just kind of go through that.
Perfect.
And it'll be
That
fun.
sounds great. So how I feel like that's very, yeah, it's like it's hard to think where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're just gonna leave this guy outside so it warms up to the ambient temperature. That way when we turn it on, it's not full of moisture and explodes.
Really bright fans over there.
No. Hey Drew, it's really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
she's
it.
on focus.
Also, this is telling you when you are, how you come up with it, what's the process, call to action, but like. Also, no, the lighting's changing every 5 seconds.
Okay.
You say those people who are watching this are kind of on the fence either way. We're helping them pull, not only pull that out, but organize it in a way that makes sense.
Totally.
What do you add on that stuff? Oh, you're 4. Okay.
Yeah, it's only down to 4 right now.
A tidbit.
Marking, this is kind of like you
Okay.
prepping for a client or
Okay,
however
yeah.
you
So we
typically
can
go
talk
about
it
it.
through.
Okay, even though it looks like we're shooting the B-roll a little bit off the cuff, we really aren't. Through the whole process prior to coming to New York and starting the shoot, we've been talking to the client about what is their message, who's their audience. With that, we scripted out what elements needed to be captured in the interview. And along with creating those questions that we were scripting out, we also created a B-roll that we felt would complement what the perceived answers would be to those questions based off our communication with the client. In this case, our client does a lot of web conference type calls, getting a shot of her on the computer, talking with other individuals via web calls, getting lots of shots of her thinking, doing notes, being an innovator and a thought leader in this space. A big part about B-roll is just making sure you capture much more than you think you'll need. Usually, if we have a 30-minute interview, we need to have recorded about 4 hours of B-roll. We just find the more B-roll you have, the more options you have, and it makes the edit so much easier. When we were new to shooting B-roll, we would do, a 30-minute interview and then get 30 minutes of B-roll. There just weren't enough options in the edit of B-roll that we could use to cover up cuts and enhance the dialogue through representative visuals. to leave all the cameras outside for an hour to get them all adjusted to the humidity outside versus the air-conditioned dry air inside. So kind of a little detail that you have to make sure you plan for those little small things. Luckily we just used it for during lunchtime. We could fill up until lunchtime, and then lunchtime we put the cameras outside, let them acclimate while we ate lunch, and then now we can do the outside shooting since everything is acclimated properly.
No.
What?
I'm definitely in that window.
Oh.
You can open the door. Does that door open?
You're on this side or this side?
That side.
This side doesn't open.
Oh, yeah, no, then we're sunk.
Okay.
I'm like very obvious in that door.
Oh yeah. Huh. Well, that might not work.
See?
Can you put yourself on the crack?
No.
Or
I'm not getting that close to the pool.
no, sorry, I meant this crack. Right. Where the black is.
I know, you're so sweet.
Well, if I'm gone. Drew, what about this guy right here? So it's like framing her on the left, and then that tree on the right.
Right.
Yeah, that works better.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. Audio is like the part that we for a while forgot about, but that most people always forget about. And it's like you could spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get really good video, but then it takes like $400 to, in this case, $800 to get really good audio. So it's a lot easier to get really good audio, but we overlook it a lot. Because of the size of the crew that we were able to fly over to New York, in this case, Drew, our cinematographer, is acting as the main camera. In this case, he's shooting on a wide 35mm lens. And I'm acting as the second camera operator, and I'm shooting on an 85mm. We always do our B-roll this way, where we divide it up into a wide and a close shot. This allows us to get a lot of shot options in a very short amount of time. The nature of a wide angle lens versus a tight lens kind of forces you to shoot things in a different way. The wide angle lens, Drew is always focusing on relationship and connection, individual with their computer, that kind of relationship, or individual talking with individual, that kind of relationship. Versus on the close-up, I'm trying to get more of the intimate things, like the eyes, the reaction of the eyes, the movement of the hands, the details of what they're writing. And so I'm getting a lot more of those close-up tight shots that look great, but they don't get quite the connection. They're very isolated. And so Drew's shots that he's getting on the wide angle lens do a great job at getting that connection between who is doing what and why are they doing what they're doing. And yeah, that's the principles, how we approach the B-roll for this shoot as well as all of our other shoots. We have a number of clients that sometimes they don't quite know how they want to use certain footage, so they just hire us to come and shoot a whole bunch of B-roll. And using the same principles of having a list of what we want to capture and then having those two cameras capturing those two elements in completely different ways. So I think for the walking one, we do like we did at the business college, where it's just, we shoot in super slow motion and we'll do like a few steps and that'll be it. And then we'll shoot her taking notes and stuff. I don't know what would be any other great shots of her. Oh, you know what would be great? That's lovely. You were very stylish. So probably preferably like a little up, kind of to the side.
Okay.
And we're just gonna walk a little slow. Okay, and here's 3, 2, 1, action. Slow down this cool. There we go. Good. Okay, cool. And then we already got, we didn't get your journal stuff yet.
Wait, was that a microphone on the coffee table?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, that should be fine.
I mean, it's a pretty quick shot.
Yeah.
But Chris,
You just act like you're on your computer.
Jake needs to move.
Can you see him?
Yo, yeah.
Okay. Top of the light. Doesn't look like a light,
I don't. It's back there. It's in the shot.
but not noticeable.
Yeah, I think if I start right here, it'll be fine. But then I'm in the shot. Really noticeable. Okay, right there. Just keep it like that. Okay. All right, that's either gonna work or not.
Cool. Do you want to cut?
I think it'll work.
Okay. That's it. Good.
Is that it? Or we...
That's it.
We don't really get like any actual hand towels around this house. So
I'm just gonna get tons of awkward shots of Jake just for fun, like shots just.
Yeah, do that all day.
Oh, blue still, I caught that too. Look at that.